They're going for it again. I love it. I gotta figure out who they are,
There's gotta be somebody important, right?
You would think.
I mean,
are we going?
We're important, right?
At least that's what we'll tell you guys. Who's doing the intro? We're here at Carpet. I'm going to try and guess this off the top of my head because we never actually officially got it right. And this is very unprofessional of us, but let's see. It's Carpet City Capital Con Comic Show. There's actually another, I guess, YouTube channel filming an intro right in front of us. It's pretty awesome. This dude is way more excited than... Not excited.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. He's a lot more vocally engaged. There you go. They're going already inside. They're beating us to it. As far as comics that we're looking for, it's pretty much November. And Black Friday and Christmas are around the corner. So I'm coming in here hoping I don't spend more than like $5 or $10. I'm not looking for anything particular. I'm going to try this out. If I go in not looking for anything, I'm hoping I'll only grab something that stands out to me and not just, well, here's a dollar bin. So that's my goal. It's something I'm trying completely new. So we'll see. We'll see. One of you can take over now.
Hi. So this is the Carpet Capital Comic Convention.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Boom. I was close.
Wrong.
I was so close.
Make sure we get that right. So we're at the Battlegrounds building, and everybody here is really nice. I have, not going to lie, I've been in there already, and they have some really cool stuff. So we're excited to show it off. I can't really say what I'm looking for because I didn't really know what to expect, but I've seen some great things. I'm pretty sure we'll come away with something awesome.
I said there was going to be like 24 vendor tables.
Yeah. So go for it, Jessica.
I'm not really looking for anything specific.
That it?
Yeah.
Brevity. I love it. So, thank you so much to the Store of Battlegrounds for letting us film here. And I believe we already told you this, Justin. We have discussed filming an actual episode here at Battlegrounds. So I don't know if that'll be in this season or next. But, yeah, again, thank you guys so much for letting us film. And now it's time to go look at comics.
Woo!
Yeah.
And one of the shops there in town brought a bunch of bargain books. You fill a bag for $10. So
Down there where it's a little bit cheaper.
You need to go high with all this information. Why don't you get that Spider-Man 300, huh?
I can just casually get Spider-Man 300.
I
I
know.
can put all this back.
Would you do that, though?
I don't know.
I understand.
How much do you think it is for a 6.0?
At a 6.0? More than you can afford. That's all I
I just
know.
need to hear it.
It's another ship from that same time. It's called Shadow. Shadow Transport. Thank you very much.
Golly. I don't know.
Was he asking about the crocodile?
Yeah.
You could actually ask. You could hold it.
Yeah, let's
I could
ask.
get a picture of him holding it.
So this box says
Some of that stuff is really, really neat.
Well, Justin needs that one. He heard me and walked off. I said, Oh man. It's a convoluted like book name. Spider-Man 700. It's kind of simple, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Number 1. Cool. Cool. Oh, look, I got that book. Second appearance, Sandman. Ooh. Has Justin seen these? He owns this one. He's got this one. Ooh. Ooh. There's some good stuff in here. I think that's First Cable, I think. First cover appearance of Red Hulk. Detective Comics number 1. Second print. Some other prints.
When should I stop this and get the
Whenever you feel like it. Ooh, Mighty Mouse.
We'll do one. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, you can stop on there.
Okay, I'll stop now.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of things good, but you
Oh, really?
see this?
Yes. We just saw it over at a different place over there. Maybe for 20 over there.
Okay.
Ooh, smooth looking. You still interested in these, Jessica?
Yeah, I'll buy you.
There's some cheaper ones too over there, but then there's some more expensive ones too over there.
Oh.
Let's skip ahead a little bit.
No, I don't think that's first Cosmic Ghost Rider. It's close. You just skipped Justin entirely?
No, he was just while he was skipping back.
Yeah, I understand.
I skipped through all the Howard the Ducks. Oh, dude, we finally find it. Well, at least I've seen it now.
Where is it?
We've never seen this book in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never seen it. All these conventions we go to, never seen it in person. I mean, you can. They're still in here.
You gotta get the rest of them at some point.
At some point. That's a good way of saying it. Cool looking cover. Spider-Man $3.99.
So this is half price. The rest are half price. This is price. This is work. The rest
Oh
are half.
man, look at that.
Oh,
Did I get this one? I got that one.
maybe.
I think I did.
It's a cool cover. That is a good series from what I heard. I actually bought Invincible number 50 earlier today from here. But I've heard good things about that book. That's Scotty Young cover. That may be somebody else's cover. Oh,
So these ones that aren't
snap. I really wanted some of those.
I wish I could sell them at Cover Price.
I would love you forever.
Why is that so tempting?
You're a sucker. wow.
actually see it?
That's a cool book.
Yes, it is.
What number is it?
Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider #1.
Nice.
So it's Ghost Spider?
Yeah. Well, it's not Ghost Spider. It's Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider. They had 10 issues of that, and then they came out with Ghost Spider.
Right, I forgot.
You gotta be specific.
You're right. You're right. This
There's
is bad
three
as like
different
New
ones now.
Titans, New
Yes, there's 3
Getting
different
there.
ones
brand new
now.
Titans.
There's like 4 volumes of Spider-Gwen now.
How did we say we were doing this anyway?
I don't remember.
Pick up thoughts or?
But this is what I got.
Yep. That's a cool
It was
book.
pretty
What
cool.
were your thoughts about the con?
It was fun. It was actually, there was more people than I thought, like more vendors and everything than I thought there would be. But it was nice. It was fun. And it was nice that it was free.
Yes,
If we had a bigger budget, I would have gotten more.
that is true. Oh, okay. As for me, I got 2 books.
I gotta look up who did this, by the way.
I'll let you start with this one. It's Batgirl 28. We are going for a complete Middleton Batgirl run.
Yes,
We're
because I like
close.
to read Batgirl, and I like the variant covers, and you just like the variant covers. Well,
DC?
Middleton specifically.
As for the con, since we're not talking specifically about Batgirl, the con was really good. Like Jessica said, the timing is rough, but of course, everyone else was in there having fun. We talked to a couple of vendors. It seemed like everybody was having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Battlegrounds has that third room built on, so you guys got to see that they think that they've really struck a balance with getting to fit a lot of people in there and it not feeling too cramped. And I would kind of agree with that. For the most part, there was only once or twice maybe it ever really felt like it was congested, and I personally don't even think that's a bad thing. That means you had people in your store, so that was always good. We had a friend who he's into all of this, but he found toys, so toys for him. We found comic books. There was a Super Mario box and some other people that had some games off to the side, and then of course you had the entire Battlegrounds store to go and look at games and comics. And we have talked to the owner of Battlegrounds. We will be filming an episode there. Just got to work out the dates of when we're going to film. But that is a really cool store. When you think about what we want to do in that show off awesome stores, Battlegrounds is like the perfect example of that. There's toys, figurines, games, comics, card games, and that was pretty much alive and well on the storefront. Now, we didn't address this, but we pretty much had to start filming with Jessica's phone, and we didn't want to
Yes.
use a lot of it, so that's why we didn't get as much footage. We're sincerely sorry about that. Just for some reason, midway through it, we had some technical difficulties.
This is actually being filmed on my phone right now, too. That's why the color's changing so much, if anybody notices.
So we didn't get to show off the artist alley. Sorry to all the artists there. We didn't get to show off the artist alley, but they still had some good vendors hold it down. So all I can say is thank you for letting us film. And he made a good point about how since he got to host it at Battlegrounds, they got to lower the cost on everything. And that's really awesome. If this had come around at a time, because we always say when you don't have a lot of money, or sorry, when you don't charge a lot for ticket prices, that really helps. And this just happened to be in around basically November.
Yeah.
But for all the other people, I'm sure it was perfect because they got in for free, and then there was a lot of like $5 bins and stuff like that. It really was a good mix of everything. So I enjoy it. And even if you didn't find anything you wanted at the con, there was an entire store right there. So I think it's a perfect starter con.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about for children, since it does get a little cramped, but if you wanted to go to your first con, this one is free. So be on the lookout for next year. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I give it a
they're
thumbs up.
definitely going to try it again because I even saw on a Facebook post.
Yeah, I think a lot of people hear convention and they think New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con,
Dragon
and
Con.
Dragon Con. And those are really expensive, really intimidating. Well, this one is free to get you in the door. If you ever get a little claustrophobic, they have a giant 2-unit store you can go and walk around. And And I just think it's a really good introduction con. I also
Yes,
think
yes.
Farley Con is a really good introduction con. But this one, I think definitely. We'll see
Yeah.
next year. But I give it a thumbs up. So I guess we'll pass it on to
Justin.
Justin.
All right, we'll show my pickups. So I'm gonna start with the kind of the outlier. This came from the Battleground store part. This is some sports memorabilia. I'm a big Georgia Bulldog fan, as I'm sure you know. But this is Hines Ward from the 90s Bulldogs team, one of our really good players in a bad time period. But I thought that was really cool. I wanted to show that off. All right, and then so to the books. I bought this because I've never had a graded comic, and it was pretty cheap and affordable, and I just thought it looked cool. But this is like a Batman number 400, and it's graded an 8.5. I just thought it was neat to have. It was affordable for a graded comic, so I just thought that was cool. All right, and then so I took the plunge on some Wolverine comics. I got Wolverine The End number 1. I know this cover looks very familiar, and that's kind of why I got it. It's either something I've always wanted to read or something I've bought before. But either way, it was
One or the
50,
other.
it was 50 cents from Why So Serious. So
That's
I
not bad.
thought that was cool. I got some other Wolverines. This is from the era when he got kind of all savage and stuff, kind of close to the Onslaught era, I should say.
When it says the end, what is that about?
I don't know.
Okay.
I do not know what's ending there, but I got Wolverine number 129. I do know that these kind of enter into that era, or that section of the 90s.
Yeah,
but
I noticed that.
I thought these covers looked good enough, and this was 50 cents, and I love Wolverine. Like that's just a run I've always wanted to kind of pick at. So
Yeah. The collector.
number 136. I think the covers are okay for the time period, but at least I don't have those white backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
137.
It's always hit or miss.
141. I actually got to looking at some of these. I'm like, that's not bad. I think it's the coloring that throws me off.
X-Men. I think X-Men got hit really hard with the '90s curse.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man's were pretty hit or miss too. For that time
Spider
period.
Woman.
It's that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
time frame was just, yeah.
It was brutal for covers.
Oh, yeah. So then that kind of ends that Wolverine run there. And then I took a chance on, well, again, I say I took a chance. This is 50 cents. This is 50
Guys,
cents.
I really broke the bank. on
I
that.
did. I went on a limb and got this for 50 cents. But this is Invincible, which I've heard a lot about because it has, Kirkman of the Walking Dead series, and then it has Ryan Otley, who's, I guess, kind of off and on, drawing for Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man now. I just heard a lot of good things about it. Thought I'd pick up an issue while I found it. This is Uncanny X-Force. I got it for half price from Why So Serious. And I just think this was a cool book when I heard what it's about. Wanted to check it out. So then I got this from the Battleground store section. This is Superior Spider-Man number 9. I could have had more of these, but I wanted to use my money wisely. So I just went with number 9.
Interesting cover. The super. What does that say? The super. Superior Spider-Man. Okay, I
To
got
be
you.
honest, I didn't even notice that.
I got
It says it
you.
in his brain.
I
Yeah.
like this cover, y'all. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 32, so this is just a new book. But I like the cover. It's pretty
I went
solid.
looking for the Mary Jane
Oh,
variant.
is that the 2099 variant?
It looks like they're going to a story that.
I think
Oh,
2099
okay.
starts in November.
Okay,
think.
I remember.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
went ahead and got Absolute Carnage number 4.
Did you buy these from Battlegrounds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so the thing is, spoiler alert, I bought a short box too that I'm about to show off. But the deal was if you buy a $10 short box, which isn't bad for one with like a graphic design on it.
It's
Yeah.
really not. It's
and then,
not.
so the thing is, if you bought that, anything that you bought from in the store was 15% off. So these things that I got from Battlegrounds, such as this also,
Even the new comics?
I think so.
Jeez.
I mean, I'd have to look at my receipt in detail, but
Yeah.
either way, I got a lot of things for 15% off.
Yeah.
But that's Batman number 80. Keep that run going. This one, I'll be honest with y'all, I'm just pumped about this cover. This is a variant cover because I should have this comic waiting on me, but this is
Ooh.
Powers of X
Oh, that's nice.
number 6, and it's a Wolverine variant, and I love it.
I almost bought either House of X6 or Powers of X6. Or 10 or X or whatnot.
Yeah.
They had a couple, and
I'm actually going to go home and read that one, so
are you caught up on it?
this is the one I haven't read yet.
Okay.
So then I have, this is probably the best book that I bought today, and it's Web of Spider-Man number 1. It was $20. It's in really good shape. It looks great. I love this cover.
It's a good sleeve,
I
too.
absolutely love the cover.
Yeah, man.
It pops at me.
I'm happy you got that.
And then here's the short box. And I've been on an X-Men kick, really with the Powers of X, House of X, or Powers of 10.
Yeah.
And then Absolute Carnage. I've been going back and forth between those runs, so I'm just in a big mood for that type of thing right now. But this is of course the art from the cover of that X-Men #1 from the early '90s. I think the highest selling comic of all time.
Yeah.
So, but classic stuff. I think the Jim Lee era, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyways, I think that's really awesome. And my thoughts for the con were that I came away really impressed because I had no clue what to expect. I usually don't unless I've been there before. But I think my first thoughts were, I love Battlegrounds, and I was like, well, what's going to set this apart from a regular day at Battlegrounds? How much will be involved? And I hadn't been there since they added on, so a lot of it was new to me. But I got to see all the vendors and everything back there, and all the stuff they had set up, and the differences, the sales, and I'm like, you know what, this is cool. I wish I could have spent more time, but of course life happens and things go on. But I came away impressed. Right off the bat, it caught my attention. I saw 2 Hulk 181s, and I was like, okay, they brought some heat
Yeah.
to this place.
Yeah.
We love Why So Serious and of course Shane and Dustin and all of that. So, they had good people there that we're familiar with. There was actually quite a few I'd never seen before that I didn't remember.
Most of them actually, I didn't know.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
But they had good stuff. I got that Web of Spider-Man from someone I never met before.
Help me out here so I don't
Back
give a
right,
shout out.
very back right.
So the Chattanooga.
Yes.
Comic and toy swap.
Yes.
Okay.
That was them.
Yeah, they seem like really cool guys. So that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome. We got to meet a couple people. We met Greg Cook.
Yes.
Photography. I'm just gonna go ahead and shout him out. We were on his Facebook page.
Yes.
And pretty much
he does toy photography.
Toy photography. I was telling Jessica
and then
that
he
this is
streams on YouTube and
he's
stuff.
very active on the YouTube community.
It was really cool.
So he gets toys and then makes scenes for the toys.
That's neat.
And I was telling Jessica, if we could combine photography with nerd culture, I would love that.
Yeah.
And then we got on his page, and that's what he was doing. So shout outs to him. And he was super nice. And the guy he was operating with, the guy who was running a booth with, was a big Josh Middleton fan. So him and I were sitting there talking about Batgirl and other books like that Middleton has worked on. So we actually got to meet a couple of new people. I love Shane, Spinnerack, Why So Serious. I love seeing those guys, but it is always nice to meet new vendors too.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll be honest, since we went into this with a tight budget, anyone who had a wall set up, I didn't even look at it.
Really?
I just was like, nah.
I did not get to look at it as much as I wanted to, but from what I saw, they brought the heat.
Why?
Yeah.
You want to talk about bringing heat? Why So Serious had $200 books just sitting in their
Casually
bins.
in the bins. So I didn't get to look on their wall, but I know that was a very exclusive wall that would probably be very hard to get on.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also we saw that one book with Silk.
Yeah, they finally had Spider-Man #4, whichever run
from that
First
volume,
Cindy Moon.
roughly the
That's
2014.
First Silk. We have First
It's
Cindy
first
Moon.
Cindy Moon as Silk. Is what
As
I said.
Silk. My bad. My bad.
But yeah, that was cool. So I mean, really,
Whoops.
that was impressive.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think the last thing I'll say as far as it is, I was impressed with the variety, which of course a lot of that is from Battlegrounds itself. Battlegrounds, if you don't know, has a lot of variety in their store.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of sports stuff there that I liked, and with the vendors, there was a person who had these prints of sports artwork, which I thought was really cool. And if I had more time, I probably would have bought one. The conditions weren't great today either, so. But I like the variety. It was really nice for a small convention, the first time convention. So I hope it grows and things continue to go well with that. And
I will say that a lot of cons have the word comic in them, but they really cater to almost everything, honestly.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know if... I guess with Battlegrounds, they have board games in their store. I don't know if anybody was selling board games.
I
But
don't recall.
Toys,
I don't know, but there was a lot of toys.
action figures.
Someone even had a PSP that I really wanted.
Yeah, you can really... I'll just say this, okay? On this most exhaustive day in the world of football, this was a highlight.
Oh yeah.
And Justin knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I've been there, but
It is super exhausting today.
By the way, you can see the
rain?
well, you can see the rain and the reflection from the TV, so you can see that there's a football game on in that window.
Yeah, it's been
Do you see
football.
it?
Yeah. It's been football all day. It's been exhausting, but this was definitely a highlight. I'm just a little scatterbrained from football right now. But it was the highlight of my day.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah.
I think. It's been a rainy, dreary, upset Saturday. but it was good.
It was.
Definite thumbs up. Definitely a thumbs up. I hope they do it again next year.
Absolutely, and thank you for letting us film and
Yes.
get your store. It's
We
always
will
a pleasure.
film your store soon too, hopefully.
Yep. I do always think this is one of the highest compliments you can give a con is that your vendors were awesome.
Yes.
And as it's been with pretty much any con that we've been to, the vendors are always great.
They are.
Always great. The dude, again, he was running his own stuff. He wasn't like a storefront or anything like that, so I don't know whether to shout out his name or
You
not.
can say
But
his first name. I'm sure his name was Wes.
yeah, we had the same name, so maybe that's why I thought he was pretty cool. But his booth was awesome. That's where I got these Middletons at,
And
he
where
had
my
more,
Spider-Gwen came from.
Yeah, that's where all of our stuff
He
came
had
from.
like all of the new variant comics, like new comic variants.
Yep. So, I just great job booking the vendors because they were all great. They were all great.
They were.
I would have loved Spinnerack, but that's a personal thing.
They would have been. Their setup's always really big, though.
Yeah.
They would have taken up the whole.
Yeah. That's what
No, I understand it's not always going to work out, but if you're like, man, we need to add one more person for next year, it's always
And
Spinnerack.
Rocky.
Rocky's good too.
And Rock City Comics.
Yeah,
we
I know.
could go
Look,
on,
we could hit you
Yeah.
up, but yeah, you did a great job booking your people. So that's my last comment. I think it was a good
Well,
call.
great day,
That's pretty good.
everybody, except for football.
Yeah, let's not talk about football. But all right. Brr, brr, brr.
Woo! I think this was a 1 in 25 variant. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I have to research that.
I know. And bye.
Oh, Michigan.
Oh, jeez.
I was gonna try to get the reflection of football.
So y'all didn't end up getting a short box then?
Poor Justin always thinks you've actually stopped. He doesn't.
She said she stopped. I don't trust people.
Dude, but then she's like,
I let my guard down.
you do. Immediate. I never not look. 'Cause
What?
Show me your phone. Show me your phone. Show me your phone. Get Elizabeth.
Okay.
Okay, she's not doing it anymore. Touchdown, Michigan.
Evie!
Jeez, is it 31? About to be 31-7.